Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Walk and Talk Wednesday, where I take you along for a walk and offer you a midweek motivation, insight, just a pep talk to help you to get through the rest of your week. Hope you enjoy, and if you like and subscribe, I would love to have you as a subscriber. So this week's episode is called Do You Have a Season of No? So I know that we have just in New Jersey have just gotten through Catholic Easter. I am Greek Orthodox, so my Easter is going to actually be in May, but for now, I know that like for a majority of people, they just celebrated Easter a little while ago, and I hope that you had an enjoyable weekend, and I hope that this sort of inspires you to welcome spring and to enjoy, hopefully the upcoming good weather. So in this week's episode, I just wanted to ask you how you're doing, and I wanted to invite you to explore the season of no. So here's the thing. As we are approaching spring and summer, there's like all this sort of underlying excitement that we're gonna get out and we're gonna go do things and we're gonna be active and we're gonna get out of the house and we're gonna do all of these things, right? And so I think as we look forward to all of these things that we're doing, I want you to ask yourself, how comfortable are you saying no to things? And I ask that because I know me personally, as I'm looking at my, family calendar, I'm booked from now until like the end of April. And then in May and June, like my May and June, my weekends are almost just about packed. And I'm also doing these EMDR intensives, which are like 8-hour long sessions that I typically do on Fridays. Like that's already booked. Like for most of May and some of June, like my intensives are booked. Like my work schedule is booked, and so it looks like my family schedule is booked, and it's starting to feel a little overwhelming, even though we are like just started. It's like April, right? When you're probably listening to this. So, one of the things that I try to keep in check is burnout. And people often ask me, how do I maintain, how do I prevent from burnout, especially when I'm dealing with trauma clients? And I think that I do a pretty good job, but I also recognize, sometimes when I read about burnout, I'm like, ooh, like I actually might be close to experiencing burnout. And when I read in an article or like a blog post from a fellow therapist who described his experience with burnout, my body had a sort of visceral reaction, like it was giving me a warning. It was telling me that I was getting close. Now, for me, I'm an introvert. This is called the introverted therapist, right? So that means for me, like I require more downtime to replenish and refill my well. It takes me a little bit longer, I think, than like extroverts to refill their well. So I need more downtime. I need more quiet. I need more silence. I need more just, like sitting in nature to replenish myself. And for me, like my daily walks, these are my efforts to replenish. But I am recognizing that this might not be enough. And when I sat and I thought about, why I had such a visceral reaction to reading about someone else's burnout, I realized that I am getting close to that. I'm getting close to burnout. And so I recognize that like my behaviors as of late, where I have been over accommodating and I have been over giving and I have been being really a little bit wonky with my boundaries, in terms of like clients that I'm taking on or things that I'm saying yes to in professional and personal endeavors. It is starting to deplete my resources, and this is one of the first signs that I'm reaching burnout levels, right? And the second is when I just like avoid people and emails altogether. That's when I know that I've like gone full on burnout level, and it's not good and it's not easy to come back from that. So I made a decision to scale back a lot of my obligations, other than what I kind of already have on the calendar. I am scaling back a lot of obligations for like happy hours and networking groups and forums and these like professional endeavors and a lot of these things that are free and like it would be great for my professional growth and personal growth. I'm just saying no to a lot of these things because I have been doing it, and I'm realizing that I'm getting annoyed and I'm getting tired and I'm not able to replenish as quickly. And so I feel like I'm about to enter the season of no. And I am asking you, do you have a season of no? And really, I define the season of no as just a period of time, like temporary, whatever. Like it could take weeks, it could take months, it could take years, where we just remove a lot of distractions and really focus on things that are important. And it means saying no to anything that maybe does not contribute to your success on a goal. It may mean saying no to what you think you should be doing, but you don't want to be doing. It's about just saying, no, thanks. No, without any explanation. It's like I'm entering the season of no, and I'm sort of dialing down. For me, I have done that like multiple times in my life, but like recently, I don't want to say recently, but like when I was in grad school, right? I was in grad school for 3 years, and I had to say no to a lot of like fun outings with friends in New York City or like going on trips. Like I just said no because I was in grad school. I was trying to like be done in 3 years as opposed to 5 because I was working full time. And I wanted to be done in 3 years. And so I put my head down and I said no to a lot of opportunities, which I don't regret. I mean, I can't go back and do that. But, when I was studying for my licensing exam, for like 3 months, you couldn't find me because I was studying for my licensing exam. Recently when I opened up my private practice in 2020, I had to say no to a lot of potential opportunities where maybe I was going to make a lot of money, but I kind of was not interested, right? And I was also a new mom. So there were things that I could have done that sounded really exciting, but I was like, I'm a mom. I'm learning how to do the mom thing, and I'm learning how to open a practice, right? And so there had to be a season of no where I just chose not to do things. Now, COVID happened in 2020, so that kind of by nature forced everyone to say no, and that makes it quote unquote easy because I can't do anything. It's COVID. But making conscious choices to say no is an opportunity to commit to giving yourself what you need. And I often hear that like with this some sort of variation, when people first get sober, they have to say no to like old friends, or they have to say no to like going back to their, environment, because it's like this is not going to support their overall mission to be sober. I hear it, when people talk about building businesses, multi-million-dollar businesses, it's like, oh, you could do the speaking engagement and get paid like tens of thousands of dollars. And they have to say no to those things because they're dialed into like scaling their own business, or they're partnering with somebody or whatever it is. Like I hear it a lot where people just have to learn to say no, and they have to develop the muscle of saying no. And even the opportunities that are great, you have to say no to because you have to focus. So this applies to, for me, when I'm trying to prevent burnout. So as I'm about to enter a busy season of family obligations, I know that means that I have a cap on the family obligations that I do. I have a cap on the number of clients that I can see. I have a cap on the number of intensives that I can offer. I have a cap in the number of speaking engagements that I'm going to say that I can do, right? So it's about saying no because you're recognizing that like for the next however long, 3 months, 6 months, you're going to truly focus on 2 or 3 really important things. And here's the thing, the little secret about actually saying no, which is, I think, goes to making you a superhero, right? All of a sudden, when you say no, you start to recognize your value and your worth, and you let other people know your value and your worth. When you say no to opportunities that someone is like, how could you say no to this? Or how could you say no to me? Or why would you say no to that? It's about saying, because I have decided what is important, and this is the boundary that I'm setting. And so I'm letting you know that I value myself, I value my time, I value my energy. And so I am of value and I am of worth, and I am not doing these things. I'm not doing it. And like, I'm not even going to apologize for it. It's just the season of no. So that to me is something that is just priceless when you learn how to say no and enter the season of no. So I say this to you to say, what do you need to say no to? And when you say no to one thing, what is it that you can say yes to that fills your cup? And I want to know, what are you saying no to? How can I support you in this season? You know, as a therapist, it's always funny because clients will say like, oh, my therapist said, and my therapist said. And if you need somebody to tell you your therapist said no, it's okay to say no. Sometimes we need somebody to tell us that. And if I'm the quote unquote bad guy and I'm telling you no, it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no. So as you enter the week and the weekend, I want you to think about what is important to you and what can you say no to, so that you can say yes to things that are truly important to you and truly serve you. So I hope that this has given you time to pause and make decisions that serve you and your highest good. Have a great week, and until next time, be well and embody the habits of the person you want to be. Take care, guys. Bye.